So I just went in to put in an application at Roca Accor, Old Orchard, for any and all positions. I also completed an entire Upwork profile. Raise your hand if you have worked with Upwork in the past and have had success in using the application Upwork. I'm thinking about creating some new content with regards to the frustrations that I've had, as well as the wins that I've had from these platforms and applications individually. It's very frustrating, you know, to be 100% eager, willing, and equipped to earn and to further your career and your life, and to not, you know, be permitted the ability, space, freedom, protection, etc. to do so. You know, it's very, very, very frustrating, you know, extremely. I need to have money, or I need to exist in an environment where money is not necessary. You know, you cannot ask a person to live this way. And there's no part of me that wants to live without awareness of the good times, you know, in my life and the times where I'm, you know, just what have you. So anyways, shouting out to my daughter, I love you so much. And to my son and my other daughter and my other son, same thing. But today's a special day for my daughter. I'm always thinking of you. You are my absolute baby girl, best friend. My children, you already know how I feel. But my daughter is the one who made me a mother. You know what I mean? She made me a mother before anyone else did. And I absolutely love you, and I wish that I could be there wherever you are celebrating with you. And so yeah, with regards to, I do have a little birthday gift for you. It's nothing big. You know, they've been really withholding my access to income for quite some time now. For the last several years, I've only been able to work within a few $100s of the amount of my bills, literally, and that is not a lie. I have not been able to take a single vacation. I have not been able to do anything. That photo I took this morning at the beach was literally just me trying to get Xavier to drive away with me, to leave the state, to go to another state, to try to coordinate with another group of judiciaries for a better, more favorable, more honest, more ethical, more lawful, you know, set of circumstances with regards to everything that has taken place over the last 10 years or so. And if you know, you know, and if you don't, please feel free to go to my videos and watch any one of them, or, you know, ask me any questions, OTL or off. I've always been able to, you know, answer and provide some clarity wherever I can. But I'm just, the more I look at things, I have these plans for my house, and I've been describing this. Here's the wild part of this, right? Some people say certain things and they're not true. I have audio recordings of me planning this house in 2016-17 over the phone with Dylan. Now, Dylan might not be here, you know, with me, but that doesn't mean I don't still want to build the same house that I dreamed of. That doesn't mean my dreams left with him. They're still here with me. So I would like to, you know, if you guys have ever heard I don't know if it's like a motivational slogan or what it is, but it's like when someone once said to me, and I don't remember the exact jargon, but the overall idea was, when you feel like you're being held back, imagine yourself in a slingshot. And that being pulled back from your goal is just in an effort to get the inertia that you need and the power that you need to just through the finish line, right? The goal was for me to purchase this home by the end of the year this year. And I haven't let go of that goal yet, you know, but to say that I have, you know, been able to accomplish all of the things financially and with regards to the stability of my living situation and what's going on with my children and I would be a blatant lie. I have not been able to get where I've wanted to go, despite the fact that I've done all of the things that I'm supposed to do, that anyone would be, you know, wanting to do or supposed to do to resolve these sorts of situations. And so it's very, very, very frustrating for me. I have been calling contractors, med spas, entertainment groups, building Excel worksheets and lead worksheets for an AI marketing firm where I can implement AI tools and create solutions for local businesses and even just individuals who are doing business. And I've been calling them and, just introducing myself and what have you. But those are the types of endeavors that are, an investment of time and energy. And the ROI is iffy at best. There could be an ROI that's more significant than a dollar amount, which is highly likely and very probable. But in that understanding, if you have to use the restroom, right, and you are being held in a space with no restroom access, what is $10,000 going to do? Not a damn thing. You're going to be using the restroom all over yourself, right? So what I need is an income to move forward with these plans and to move forward with the stability and success of my business. And what they're giving me is, a day trip to a private beach to take a photo. You know what I mean? Like, I love it. Thank you so much. Don't let me not be grateful. But come on, what the fuck is going on here? And then they've just got all of these narratives in circulation with regards to the health, wealth, stability, and overall prognosis of life and society that is just not lining up. I mean, from day to day, there are malls. I go to these malls. They look like they are so packed with individuals. They are so busy. They are thriving. There are people spending their hard-earned monies and, really seeming to have a really great time at life. And then I wake up another day, and this has been a recurring theme. If you listen and if you know, then you most certainly know. But then there are other days where I wake up and it's like, what the hell is going on? Someone told me today that Woodfield Mall went out of business. I know that's not true, but what fucking plane of reality is that person living in? I believe them. They're not insane. These people aren't going crazy. So what's going on? Is this a cyborg thing? Is this, is this a modern LASIK thing? Is this a, snake thing? What is this? How do I name this? How do I make sense of this? And how do I move forward to reach my goals as have been clearly defined and stated since I was a little girl? So that's where I'm at with it. And then, I got to tell you guys, I am beyond done with the bullshit. Heather's to this for that. Heather's to this for that. We've got to watch her with this. We've got to help her with that. Giving someone the tools that they require to be successful does not need to include a tremendous slander campaign for the purpose of causing someone else to look good. It's been 6 years. It's been 6 years since I began to be followed in real life. I've been growing social media accounts for about 15 years now, maybe a little longer. I've probably grown, maybe, 50 to 100 social media accounts if you incorporate Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, which I don't much care for and don't really use, even though I have an account. I have been doing this for a long, long time, so it's time for some ROI here. And I'm frustrated with the situation as it stands. I'm frustrated with the lack of clarity. And I've given enough information on a regular basis to communicate to my higher authorities that, number one, I am not happy or accepting of being used, and I should say misused, in an effort or in an arena where the adversarial interaction is extremely exhausting to even perceive. We've already been to the other side of this, where there are solutions, where there are algorithmic interceptions of this type of deception. And with that being said, why is this continuing to go on sometimes? It's just too much. We'll see if they give us a call back from the restaurant. I also, as I was saying, I was trying to describe Upwork, the application Upwork, UPWORK. Now, I have done work with and am fairly intelligent with regards to the functionality and workflow of multiple different application-based employment opportunities: Instacart, Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, TaskRabbit, Shipped, Amazon Flex, what else? Instacart, if I didn't already say that one. Numerous secret shopping applications. Under the understanding that I would consider myself fairly proficient at the workflow of most of these applications, Upwork and Fiverr and what's the other one? Instawork, I think. Those are a little bit different than the ones I previously described for deliveries, food deliveries, shopping, personal shopping, secret shopping, etc. From that understanding, Upwork is supposed to be a freelancer-based platform where you're able to kind of discuss your resume and your experience and give a couple of examples of your work, put a dollar amount on your hourly wage for specific services. So, if you do website development, but you also do project management, you might be charging $500 per page on website development and $70 or $40 or $30 an hour on project management, depending. Upwork only gives you one hourly rate, but you're able to list your services in a number of different capacities. So for me, I have AI implementation, marketing, sales, promotions, content writing, strategy, new business development. All of those things would likely cost something different, but it only lets you lock in at one hourly rate. I put $40 an hour. I asked ChatGPT to compile a list of what most people are making on that application and what I would be advised to charge in an effort to stay at the top of the game, relevant and competitive. And ChatGPT said between 40 and 50 an hour. So I went with 40. Let's see how it goes. I go to click on a job for consideration, and these fucking assholes, pardon my French, ask me to pay them to see the job that's been posted to see if I want to apply. I'm sorry, you want me to pay you just to read the job and see if I want to apply? I've never heard of that before. That's absolutely insane. LinkedIn doesn't do that. Indeed doesn't do that. Craigslist doesn't do that. Any of these application-based software platforms or website platforms that I've ever gotten jobs before, and I got my Northwestern job, I believe, on LinkedIn. I've gotten multiple jobs with Alexian Brothers Hospital on Craigslist. I've gotten numerous reputable jobs from reputable locations and facilities and doctors and lawyers and executives and and restaurants, etc. And I've never once had to pay for consideration. I mean, what the hell is that? It seems as though the person posting the job should be the one that's paying. If the freelancer has an hourly rate, then wouldn't that be, in alignment with, hey, I'm here to look for a job, not pay you to look at the jobs that you have available online? It makes no sense. So I'm going to have to probably go to Fiverr and rebuild my entire profile there, and then go to Instawork and rebuild my entire profile there. It's so fucking annoying. And I'm just frustrated. Overlook Drive. What the fuck is that? I don't know. But I told you guys, my uncle once drove to Kentucky in a vehicle that had no power steering with only his knees. So welcome to my bloodline and my genealogy and my family history. I'm pretty good at stuff, okay? And that's a true story, okay? My uncle drove a non-power steering vehicle in the 70s or 80s from Elmhurst, Illinois to Kentucky, the state, with just his knees. So And that's that. So good talk. I'm really not sure, what is going on anymore with the job market. I'm completely, I go to Sephora and Ulta a lot. I do a lot of quality assurance kind of overviews while I'm there. I'm not sure if that's part of the programming, if someone else is getting paid for that, or if that's just supposed to be like a favor to me so that I'm not bored and, losing my mind out here, just sitting in the fucking car all day, every day. I really don't know. But the shit is crazy. I really got to tell you, it is absolutely obscene. They're fucking with my maps. How did I just go from Old Orchard to Waukegan Road? It makes no sense. I'm trying to get through, and I'm not here to be, someone who is subjected to various things that I have already deemed not, acceptable for me. And in that understanding, we have free will in this country and in this life, and we have autonomy, and we are able to choose the paths that we want for ourselves and then ask people for assistance along those paths. That's called mentorship, right? So I have basically been flying all over a bunch of different paths and handling it like a champ, and with that understanding, I need to be paid. I need to be able to support my family and children, and I need to be able to build a house. And that's it. There is nothing left to discuss about it. I'm not quite sure how, to continue asking for these things. I've asked very patiently and kindly. As far as I know, the only agent I have is an AI agent, which is not someone who negotiates rates of pay and employment opportunities for me. That is someone who assists me in the deceptive practice with regards to extracting truth from other individuals for the purpose of removing deception from the narrative so that we could really understand what's been going on. Other than that, I work as my own agent, and I don't know of anyone booking any jobs for me, and there's definitely no one calling me up on the phone or tapping in OTL saying, hey Heather, would you like to do this job or that job? It's just me not fucking being able to do much of any gosh darn thing, and I have had it with that. So I am not an individual who is a lazy piece of shit, and I never have been, and it makes me feel really, really bad to know that on a day like Christmas or my daughter's birthday or any random fucking Wednesday, my daughter, my other daughter, my sons, my friends, my family, any fucking person couldn't call me on the phone or check in with me and say, hey, do you have $5-10 that I could use? Do you have $20 that I could use to buy myself a meal? At this level of my existence and awareness and understanding of the world and experience, I should most definitely 1000% without any questions asked be able to cover my own costs at all times with no confusion as to whether something was paid or not, or who's handling that or what's going on here, and most definitely be able to send my children $10 to $20, for a meal if they ask for it. So, that's where I'm at. It's been about 40 days, I want to say, since they robbed me of my, the 20 grand that they promised to return, 20 to 23 grand that they promised to return, from the apartment I was living in, that I had a rental agreement to occupy through May of 2027. They did remove me and Xavier from that location. I would suppose in an effort to kind of repeat all of the previous ways that they've been abusive to me. But I can't be sure, I'm not really positive, of what their intentions, have been. So I can only continue to put the best foot forward and continue to, look for opportunities where I can find them. I'm definitely, as I said before, not really interested in being harmed anymore, nor am I interested in any of the other bullshit that these people have been curating. It's been a play-by-play from what has already gone on and what's already been documented. And when I say documented, I want to remind everyone, I wasn't documenting so that you all could be entertained. I was documented because I was fucking terrified for my life. I didn't know what was going on. I was being abused in many different ways. a member of law enforcement dragged me about 14 feet down the street by my arm while I was pregnant with Weston for no reason. Not on drugs, not being abusive, not doing anything wrong. So I was not documenting so you all could have a good fucking laugh and curate the same shit in my life now. I was documenting because the things that were going on were not acceptable by anyone's standards. The David Shepard shit, Detective David Shepard, the Dylan shit, all of that's recorded on a state monitored phone line. All of it. How the fuck do you sit around hearing that a woman was kidnapped against her will and forced to engage in sexual intercourse with a man for a dollar amount and then give that dollar amount to some random dude who was holding her as a kidnap victim? How do you, and that's all on a recorded state monitored line? And we're still to this space where we don't have resolution, we don't have understanding, we don't have a fucking court case, we don't have any of that. We don't have any of that. This is not acceptable, at all. So I'll just continue to do what I've been doing because I want you to know what I've been doing is every fucking thing that I could think of to do, that you could think of to do, that anyone could think of to do. There is no one that's been able to strategize a better path for creating reconciliation, honesty, and restitution and restoration to this set of circumstances than myself and my team. So it is what it is. None of this is for entertainment. None of this is a joke. This shit really happened to me. It's very frustrating. I'm very upset. I'm not here for you people to starve me and withhold food and money and water and all this other shit until I'm cornered into, well, do I just go take it from the store or do I sit here and starve to death? What do I do? And I'm not into the fucking, well, Heather won't go in there and steal something, so let's insert a deceptive actor so that people think that she will. I don't fucking like it. It's unlawful, it's deceptive, it's fucking slanderous, and it needs to stop. I picked up Xavier. Xavier and I have spent 2 nights apart in the last 4.5 years. Then all of a sudden, 2 weeks ago, the 17th, I believe, so 4 days ago, Xavier decided that he had to stay sleeping in this secret area he doesn't want me to disclose while I had to be sleeping elsewhere. 4.5 years we've been together, we have a child. And after all of that, I'm going to be left to sleep by myself, randomly parked on the side of some road. And he's going to, stash himself elsewhere in the inner city. And this is supposed to make sense to me. I'm supposed to understand what's going on here. Me not knowing what's going on here is a sign of some sort of mental health issue. What the fuck? Where are you guys from that this is how life works? I never want to go there. Where in the fuck are you guys from that this is how life works for you? I don't get it. I do not get it. I'm not a fucking androgynous. I'm not a pansexual. I am a woman, a feminine woman with a vagina, a uterus, fallopian tubes. If you don't know all the parts, I recommend you start taking some interest in anatomy. I'm not here to describe everything for you. But I am a woman, a human woman who bleeds blood, who has emotions and experiences and feelings, and who has given birth 4 times, and who is deserving of support and love and advocacy and a happy life. And I've been saying this shit for a long time. So please, fill in the fucking blank. If A plus B equals C, and A is a variable, and B is a variable, and C is Heather's desired outcome, goals being accomplished, and a desirable quality of life for her and her family, somebody fucking solve for A and B. Please. So anyway, that's where I'm at now. And I guess I will just call my children and try to check on them again before I continue to roam around aimlessly, because the only thing worse than that is sitting stuck in one spot aimlessly. So thank you guys very much for continuing to be here. I really appreciate it. I need some answers and some clarity. I want to know more about the Jamaica shit. I want to know more about the government's role in using me in undercover operations. I want to know more about the government's role in using other individuals in undercover operations with or without their permission, consent, knowledge, willingness, or awareness. And I'd like some clarity on these subjects as soon as possible. So, FDA, if you could also tap in, we have some serious questions about the fucking food pyramid, because I have been eating one meal or less a day for the last, I don't even know how long, and I'm feeling pretty good. Gotta tell you, I'm feeling pretty good. So what's going on? What is going on? Please. All right. You guys have a great day. And I hope you all, are accomplishing your goals and living your lives, to the best of your abilities and potentials, and that people are not being assholes to you guys or making you want to harm yourself or feel sad about yourself. Because no matter how fucked up we are, we're never equal. None of us are equal. That's not a real thing. Because in order to be equal, you have to be the exact same. And none of us are the same. We embrace our individuality and the things about us that make us different from one another, and our strengths and weaknesses, and et cetera, and so forth. But even if you're the biggest dummy in existence, you've got to have something. There is something about every person that you can genuinely learn to appreciate and admire and celebrate. And so in that understanding, I encourage all of you to be your own biggest fan. Focus on that one thing, whatever it is, and have a great evening. And as I said before, thanks again for following and keeping up with this last 10 years of absolute debauchery. I really appreciate you guys. So I